Greetings. Welcome to the SciFi Pubcast, the podcast that tries to be a pub and perhaps someday a pub that tries to be a podcast. As always, we are looking for customers to come visit our bar. If you're passionate about something you want to be on show, then let us know because this bar is all about community. If you want to help us out, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and liking our videos. Plus, don't forget to tell your friends because we need customers. I'm Joel. I'm the proprietor, I should say, not proprietary, proprietor of the SciFi Pubcast. With me at the bar today, we have Derek Beebe and Carrie Simpson. How you guys doing?
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, stranger.
Yes, it's been a long time since we got an episode out. It's probably about 6 weeks. We are now on YouTube because only because I need to save money right now, so I have to save some costs for hosting fees. We may return to podcast world at some point, but we're kind of like a podcast more than say a YouTube channel because, well, I don't want to be considered a YouTuber. Look at me, I'm old. Okay. But let's start with Carrie. How's life in Southern California?
Oh, it's nice. It's
Yeah.
starting to warm up, which is not gonna be fun, but
Mhm.
it's still under triple digits, so
Yeah.
it'll be it's survivable.
Okay. Nice, nicely done. And oh yeah, are you ready for 2027 with the Star Wars celebration?
Oh yeah, I got my tickets for Thursday and Sunday because those were the only days that were still available after
Yeah.
4 hours waiting in line.
Wow.
Uh,
Yeah.
we're
What?
not, go- we're not, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It,
Wow.
the everything was completely sold out within 6 hours. It was crazy.
And they
Um,
say Star Wars is dead.
yeah, yeah.
I just find conventions are like that. Now it's so many people and it's so hard to get tickets and for the
Well,
experience it's yeah. Mm.
well, here's the thing. And I pointed this out to a couple of people. I get that, this is the 50th anniversary. It's a big deal. Tickets sold out really, really fast.
Mm.
On the other hand, Read Pop Aloud had a 20 ticket max. It's like, really?
Really?
People are gonna be scalping that crap, right?
Yeah. Oh,
So there was that. And at the same time, STLV, which is granted, it's not the official con
right,
for
right.
Star Trek. Creation doesn't have the license for Star Trek anymore.
Right.
But the 60th anniversary con is this year
Yeah, yeah.
in August. I'm going.
Nice.
Those tickets went on sale in like October or November. They sold out in February. That's
Yeah.
like that's like that's like 4 months at least. It's
Uh,
not less than half a day. So
oh,
I don't know.
big difference there. Yeah.
Big difference.
And what's the drive from LA to Las Vegas? It's like 5, 6 hours, something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
4 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Unfortunately, I won't be at the celebration next year or at the Las
Well,
Vegas Star Trek one because I'm poor now, but that's about me.
yes.
But before you get to my
Well,
story, because I've had some updates in my life, let's throw it to Derek and see how things are in the hills of Pennsylvania. How's life, Derek?
Pretty good. I just had my number redacted birthday.
Mm.
Unfortunately, it did rain that whole weekend, which kind of
Okay.
interrupted a lot of the plans, but
Mm.
I did get to see the new Star Wars movie for my birthday, so that was nice.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Well,
the
very
other
that's
cool
good
cool.
thing
because
was the 501st was at the theater when we were there.
Yeah.
So they had like 20 people in cosplay in the lobby taking pictures with people. That was a really cool treat.
Nice, nice.
nice.
Absolutely. Yes. So, did you pick up any culinary ideas from the cinema in terms of like popcorn, which we can use in our kitchen at the Sci-Fi Pubcast?
So you want to serve popcorn here?
Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's on a burn
I don't
nuts.
know.
I don't know.
It's just a
Well,
little too basic bitch for me. I like to
okay.
get a
Okay.
little more exotic with things.
Well, in that case, let me ask you, how's our kitchen doing?
Well, once again, we were gone for a while, so I came back and it was pretty dusty. So I had to wipe all that stuff away first. And I did not use the dust in the food. I know you're going to ask. That's fine.
Mhm. Okay, good. That's great.
We
Absolutely
Yeah.
great.
weren't going to ask, but
Mm.
Okay.
Okay, are we putting like frogs on the menu now? To attract,
Well, I mean, because we were doing a Grogu movie, you know how in the movie he's always eating those little blue macaroons?
right.
So I made blue frog legs because
Hmm.
that's the logical leap, right? I actually found them like way in the back of the freezer. They must have been there since we first moved in 10 years ago.
Oh
I guess that's
God.
why they're blue, but
Yeah, okay. Oh
put a
my
little bit
God.
of that dust seasoning on it and it'll improve the flavor.
Yeah, I think you need to get another job somewhere, man. I know.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, how's writing going for you? Anything new in your writing world?
I can't remember the last time we put an episode out, but I do
Yeah.
have all three books of Terminus season one out now.
Okay.
So all three are available. That's the complete season one of the story.
Nice.
And I am actually just now starting to work on the next season as well. I mean, it's already written, but I'm
Mm.
doing lots of rewrites and improving a lot of things. That's always the most exciting thing when I have an existing story and I come up with a better idea that can slot into the existing one without having to change really what comes before or after it, but
Right.
makes that part really better. That's always really exciting to me. And I've had two moments like that where I basically got to rewrite an episode to make it much better without altering the existing, continuity of the story.
Nice.
So that's been fun.
Yeah,
Neat.
I'm very proud of you and the fact that you've written these novels and you're still working at it,
Thank
possess
you.
your passion
Yeah.
and you have the drive. So all the best, man. As they say in Klingon, Qapla'. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. As far as me, yeah, so I tried moving to Florida and I lasted about 4.5 weeks. I went to work for a company briefly, a big entertainment corporate company, which I'm not going to mention now, and that just didn't work out, and I don't want to dwell on that. And then I tried to see what was around this Cocoa Beach area in Cape Canaveral, and yeah, I can afford to live in Florida. I can barely afford living in Canada right now. And so I'm back in Canada. I'm back in London, Ontario, where I'm officially on leave from the university for another 10 months if I wanted it. And I'm not working on my dissertation because I'm not allowed to work on my dissertation. So I'm not thinking about my dissertation at all. I'm not actually putting any ideas on paper. I am not even thinking about my dissertation with science fiction and technology and emerging technologies and how it could affect policymakers and the law. I'm not thinking about that whatsoever. Just want to make
So
that
it's like a
Well,
very
writer's
clear.
strike.
Just
You
making
mean
we
it
not
we
about
very, very clear. Okay. So
we believe you.
okay. But I'm keeping it low key. I'm back at the bar, bartending and running food at the graduate student bar. It's summertime, so we're really sh slow. Great patio, by the way. So I'm just getting a shift, well, 1 or 2 shifts a week, basically. And I'm trying to save money because, quite frankly, I've blown my pension money for the most part, and I can't tap into my retirement funds until I'm like a couple more years, or I'm a deathbed. So. Yeah, so things are challenging for me in my world, but I've landed on my feet. I've moved to a different place. I'm in a house that's owned by a buddy of mine. He's renting out some rooms. He's just starting to rent out some rooms, so it's a new experience for him. It's a nice house. It takes me a bit to get to campus or get to downtown London, but there's buses. Not the best buses, but there's buses. And yeah, it's a nice little place to not work on my dissertation because there's less distractions. But saying that, I haven't set up my podcasting stuff yet, so I'm just winging it right now. There's Wi-Fi at home. Yay! I don't have to go to campus and use their Wi-Fi.
Yay.
Yay!
That's good.
I just I left my podcasting mic and my headphones and well, it's in a box at my other buddy's place in the basement, and I'm slowly moving important stuff over in the room I'm renting, but I don't have the storage space, so I'm living between two different houses right now. It's fun. Don't be like me, kids. Don't be like me. But we're
Just
not here to talk about
use Joel as a lesson in what not to do.
it's a cautionary tale. And trust me, I have lots of cautionary tales in my life.
Yeah, we believe you.
What else I can tell you? There's a new tiny little Irish pub that opened up maybe 40-minute bus ride away. I've been spending a lot of time there. It's very small and it's very Irish. It's owned by an Irish family. It's called the Off License, which is part of the Bag Lady. So it's kind of like a fake speakeasy where you have to go to the like a 50-year-old diner in an old house, and the bar is naturally in the back. And you walk in, it's always packed with the Mayo people or with the the Irish people, the Canadian Irish community in London, Ontario. That's been fun. So yes, I've been drinking Guinness a lot lately. So yeah, and spending money which I shouldn't be spending. All right, enough about me. I can go on. Hey, I'm drinking coffee right now. That's something. So the holopuck has dropped. We have a new Star Wars movie, The Mandalorian and Grogu. So get yourself a slice of pan-fried spam, flat meat fry sandwich, which is really a thing. And let's discuss this movie. That's right. Okay, who wants to go first? First impressions. Carrie, you want to go first?
Sure. I loved it. I had a blast. I
Okay.
It was so much fun. The haters can go, bungee jump without the bungee cords, I guess.
Hmm.
No,
You could use another
okay.
couple analogies, but sure. Okay.
I was
Okay.
I was trying to be less violent about it. Sorry.
Metaphors,
Um
okay.
I it was a fascinating movie. It was really fun. Grogu has quickly become one of my favorite characters because
Mm,
he's adorable and he's just he's tiny and he's just trying to make a live make it work in a world that's way in a galaxy that's way too big for him, but
right.
he's managing. It's
Mm,
fine. I was I think this is I've said this a couple other places. I think this is the first time in Star Wars where we've seen like the range of how a hut moves
mm, yeah.
Yeah.
and how mobile they can be. And I found that just fascinating, especially watching Radha fight.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
I think
okay, yeah,
yeah.
this works.
Yeah. I think that was it Star Wars: A New Hope, the additional scenes they put
Mm.
in 20 years ago, they showed Jabba the Hutt and meeting with Han Solo in a hangar bay.
Yeah, but even there,
Yeah, yeah,
he's just
yeah,
slithering across the ground
yeah.
like a slug.
Mm,
You don't actually like watching not Grogu, watching
mm,
Rada
yeah.
use his arms to like pull himself
Yeah.
across the floor and like
Yeah.
seeing how muscular he is
Mm.
compared to other Hutts is just like oh yeah guys could do some serious damage if they had a mind to,
Yeah.
if they weren't lazy slugs all the time.
Very true. Very true. Okay, how about Derek? Your first impressions of this movie?
I thought it was a really enjoyable movie. It was a lot of fun, great action, great humor. I kind of hesitate to rank it against the other movies though, because it's not the fate of the galaxy at stake or anything. It's it's ultimately a small scale story, which is
Mm,
fine. I mean, I definitely understand the complaint that it's just some TV episodes stitched together on the big screen. Like I said, it was a lot of fun. I loved watching it in a movie theater. It was great to see a Star Wars in the theater for the first time in 6.5 years. That was nice.
mm,
So I really liked it. I basically consider it about on the same level as Solo. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It had great action and humor. It ultimately wasn't terribly consequential to the larger continuity. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but if when it's the first movie in 6.5 years, perhaps it would have been nice if something a little more major happened. But I understand that the intention of this was just kind of to reintroduce audiences to seeing Star Wars in the movie theater again.
all right.
And yeah, the everything with the huts was really interesting. All the stuff with Grogu was great. I really loved Grogu and are they Anzelians? Ansel, the little tiny ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
like all that stuff was just comedy gold. That was a
Oh yeah,
hilarious pairing.
they were adorable.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I did have trouble hearing them in theater, like understanding what they were saying. So I do look forward to watching it again with closed captioning.
Mm,
I think I got about half of what they were saying because of the voice, but yeah, that was all great. Really great movie, lots of fun. Obviously not my number one Star Wars movie ever, but that's fine. It doesn't have to be. And it was a lot of fun.
mm,
I do have one big idea that I think would have greatly improved the movie if they just made a slight change.
Mhm.
I think
Hmm.
the biggest problem with the movie is that nothing really changes. Not, I guess you could argue that Mando and Grogu get a little bit closer together by the end of it, but
Right.
I would think that for a movie like this, they should have had a more substantial evolution in their relationship.
Yeah.
So my idea of what they should have done is that when Mando was poisoned and dying, and Grogu was taking care of him in the swamp,
Mm,
Grogu should have spoken for the first time to him
mm.
and said, "Wake up, father." And that's what finally wakes him up. And
Nah.
then going forward, Grogu starts talking, and then that would have been a major evolution for Grogu and in their relationship.
All right.
And I think
So
that would have been a really sweet moment where, like, like Grogu is like on his chest or something, and he says, "Wake up, father." And then Mando, like, finally stirs and wakes up. It was the voice of his son that finally brought him back.
maybe, yeah.
Well, I don't know that I don't know that I needed Grogu to talk. I'm fine with Grogu not being able to talk yet. And he's only 50 years old. We don't know how long it takes his race to speak, or at least speak basic, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and that's not entirely true that nothing really changed. I mean, they took down an entire Hut clan. There's gonna be like a power vacuum among the Hut cartels now. So
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. See, this is where my brain just went. Okay. So Grogu, if he shows up at Sci-Fi Pubcast, can we serve him alcohol or not? Is he
He's
underage,
53.
or is like, yeah, he's 50 something, right? Okay. I have to and hire a lawyer to figure out how that works. Some galactic lawyer type. But yeah.
Boy.
Yeah, there we go. My first impressions. Well, not my favorite, but I can see how people like it. I'm not going to take away from people's enjoyment of this film. My problem is that I've been consuming so much science fiction the last couple of years, from all different types of science fiction, and I'm being very, with a mind of, being critical and thinking things through, and I'm just. I'm just old and tired, you know. So in other words, to me, when I see a movie like this one, like The Mandalorian and Grogu, I'm not bored, but I'm not engaged as well. And I think it's my problem. It's not the film's problem. It's just where I'm at in life right now. It's always great to see
So you're
Star
saying you're
Wars.
old and
Yeah,
tired, whereas the rest of
yeah,
us, whereas
yeah.
the other, the Derek and I are just mentally five.
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying, Curry. No, no, I just don't know. It's like, okay, to me, this, you have elements of this film that, I see dates back to like Buck Rogers or Flash Gordon, right? I really like some of the callbacks, or at least the homages, like to Blade Runner, and when you see in the Shakari world, right? Okay, you even have a noodle shop, right, or thereabouts, right?
Yeah.
That was excellent. I really liked that, and I think that came from this. A lot of the scenes came from that video game they were in production. Not the video game, the
Oh, the
TV.
underworld, yeah,
Yeah, Underworld. What was it, 11:30 level?
underworld or something.
Yeah, yeah, a
Yeah.
few from years ago. But I thought it was good. It just, I like the characters have more in state. Like, I really like the first season of The Mandalorian because it had a lot of Western influence. And this movie, 3 seasons or 3.5 seasons, you want to count the Book of Boba Fett, and then we get to a story on a theatrical release. Yeah, it's fun, but it's not something I'm going to go home and and think about in any great depth because I don't think it's a very deep film. But yeah, it's Star Wars and it's fun. That's my
I,
take.
I appreciate
Yeah.
I appreciated that you don't have to have seen
Mm.
the Mandalorian TV show to jump into this movie. It would
Yeah.
have helped,
Yeah.
but you don't need to know who any of the other characters are. You don't they explain as much of the backstory as they manage at the beginning of the movie. You don't have to know who Zeb is, other than he's a rebel. Would it have been nice to have seen Hera and Chopper, maybe, but
Hmm.
they're probably off looking for Ezra and or Ahsoka at the moment. So
Okay.
they're probably busy. Uh yeah, it would have been nice to have gotten the mention of Callus, maybe, but that also would require more knowledge of other shows
Yeah, I
than
like
than you would expect.
I like the fact that they kept it pretty tight in terms of the plot. They didn't bring in all these other
Hmm.
characters for the most part from outside from the TV shows or elsewhere in the Star Wars universe, with the odd exceptions, right? Okay, and I think that was a good idea in terms of story because I like tight stories. What
Hmm.
I can't even watch a TV show now, okay? It doesn't have to be science fiction, but can be, okay? Without getting mad at the whole Chekhov's gun thing that they always foreshadow everything. Each time there's a line of dialogue, it's like, that says one thing, that it's going to happen, or you see one item, or you see one Easter egg. You know what's going to end up happening. And to me, the fun game I play in my head is that where's this plot going, and am I going to be correct where it's going? It will have surprised me, and often nowadays, no, it's not going to surprise me. So yeah, but I know it's good. It's yeah, I thought. Well, let me put it this way. I did like the fight scene in the arena. I did like the whole Shakira business. I'm not sure it was sold on the Hoth, the opening battle scene, but yeah, it was good.
It's not officially Hoth. It was just some other,
Yeah,
snow-covered
Yeah, I was about
planet.
to say,
yeah.
I don't think they ever actually said that was Hoth.
They
No,
didn't,
it's
but
just
yeah,
some unnamed snowy mountainous planet.
yeah. But then it's another time. It could be Hoth, and that's good. It's a ambiguous. It's ambiguous. Ambiguous. I see my speech pen. Don't be like me, folks.
It's gotten
Okay.
worse, dude.
I know. I know. It's terrible.
It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Derek, what do you think?
Yeah, I
Storyline
think
wise.
they did a good
Yeah.
job of making it newbie friendly by avoiding references to the larger story or
Mm,
the TV shows going on at the time. I mean, obviously, I would have preferred if this had somehow been tying into the rising threat of Thrawn. I'm
mm,
sure had this been a season 4 of the TV show, it would have been about that. And we would have gotten maybe some Ahsoka, maybe some. Well, I don't know. They don't seem to like Tamora Morrison anymore, so maybe not Boba Fett. But I think had it been a TV show, it definitely would have been leading into Thrawn and
mm.
Ahsoka season 2. So I was a little disappointed that the Imperial plot didn't actually go anywhere.
Right.
But I did like the premise of Mando fully working for the New Republic now. I thought that was a good evolution. I know we were
Mm,
basically getting there at the end of season 3, but I think that's a much more interesting premise than just being a standalone bounty hunter. And I'm certainly excited to see where that goes in the future when we eventually get into what I assume to be a Heir to the Empire Admiral Thrawn movie.
mm.
It'll be really cool to see Mando, as part of the New Republic team fighting Admiral Thrawn. And I wish we'd gotten a hint of that here, but that's okay. And there were lots of great little in jokes and references that you don't need to know, like Zeb from Rebels, or the. It took me a while to get this, that when they fight those monsters in the arena, that's literally the monsters from the holochess table in New Hope. It's like
Yeah.
all those monsters. Like I eventually caught on, like, oh yeah, that's cool.
Well, it it took me a bit. I was telling someone this, like it took me a bit to clock that was like if you look at the pattern on the floor, it took me a bit to clock that it was a Dejarik table. I was like,
Oh, I didn't see
it
that.
looked
That's cool.
originally it looked. I thought when you first see it, it looked like it was an Imperial cog. I'm like, well, of course, this is gonna be this is where he's gonna find the warlord he's missing, sure. But then it's like, oh, then they mentioned the Jark match. I'm looking at the grid. I'm like, oh, and then all the creatures come out and why are these? Oh, that's why they look familiar. Okay,
And
Very
of
cool.
course, using Jabba the Hutt's son is a great pullback to the original Clone Wars movie. And also, I know for sure that in the Star Wars comic book from a few years ago, there was a muscular a fighting Hutt. I believe that was Rhoda and not someone else. I'm pretty sure.
Mm.
But I know
mm,
in the Star Wars comic book, circa 2017 or so, they had like a really muscular gladiator hut, and I'm pretty sure that was Rhoda and not someone else.
Mm.
So yeah, there's lots of cool references like that. And the Imperial Warlord guy, he was in the little hologram conference scene at the end of Mandalorian season 3 of all the Imperial
Yeah,
Warlords, to the point where I
that's
was
why
confused
he
when
looks
they showed
familiar.
him.
Mm.
Yeah, I was like, wait, that's one of the Imperial Warlord guys. I was like, why is it a mystery who the Imperial guy is? But so yeah, there's
Be-
lots of great little references like that. Oh, I also really love the fact that when Grogu was lost in the swamp, he instinctually made a walking stick just like Yoda did, and he instinctually made a mud hut just like Yoda did. I thought that was a really cool thing to show him kind of like evolving into the next Yoda. And I don't know about you guys, but the biggest laugh in the movie for the audience that I was in was when he builds the hut and it's too short, and he like pushes Mando in and just bonks his head on it. That got
Yeah.
a huge laugh from the audience.
yeah, that was. I was like, is he building a grave? This got dark real quick, and it's like, oh, it's a hut. Okay, okay, it's fine. He, he's not burying his dad yet.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Oh,
What
that's
a
another idea that I had to improve that joke. So like he bonks his head, he doesn't fit, and then like you kind of see Grogu being like, ugh, and then like we cut to later, and he's like extended the hut just like a little head shape just to fit Mando's head into. I think
right.
that would have been a funny
Yeah.
joke on a joke.
Uh, Too much work. He'd have to, he'd have to like bust out the back of the structure
Yeah,
and then reform it
yeah,
and stuff. And plus, and if you do that, there's no wiggle room for him to move the helmet so that he can feed dad and stuff. So
that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another thing they should have done in the movie. They should have shown that Mando is allowed to take his helmet off in private with Grogu since Grogu is his son. That would have been another cool thing, and it also would have given us more Pedro Pascal screen time.
Mhm.
they would have had to pay Pedro for the for the actual screen time.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And
Was
everything with Grogu and the Anzelians was just hilarious. The fact that they
Oh
have that little
yes.
tiny ship and like Grogu is like barely fitting in the
yeah.
ship,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
everything with them was just hilarious.
Yeah, that's really interesting in terms of the filmmakers, so Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. They played with scale, and what are they saying, right?
Hmm.
That some small folks are not small in terms of I don't know power, or in terms of values, in terms of life itself, right? You don't have to be the size of a hut to make a difference on the universe. I thought as a theme that was very well done. Yeah.
Like I would have thought like okay, so it was cool that the ship matched their size, but I would have thought it would have been hilarious for them that's just the cockpit
Mm.
of the ship, and the rest of the ship is gargantuan,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like the rest of the ship would fit a full grown hut, maybe,
Mm.
but that doesn't that would have meant that they could have gotten Din Djarin off of Hutta and fixed without the whole sequence of him trying to be a distraction
Mm.
while Grogu gets off planet.
Yeah.
It's like in Futurama, Bender's apartment is a tiny little closet, but his closet is like the big wide open space that Fry ends up living in.
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
Mm. Mm. How about the fight scene between, well, the two fight scenes between uh, Den Djarin and the bounty hunter, Embo.
Oh, Embo. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
he
really
made
cool.
appearance.
That I forgot. That's
Yeah,
another Clone Wars cartoon character. That
right.
was an awesome
Yeah,
like little crossover reference that I loved. Yeah, those were cool fight
Yeah,
scenes. Embo was a
yeah,
real badass.
yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised to see Embo survive that.
Mm,
I half expected him to go the way of Cad Bane,
Cad Bane.
yeah.
but no.
I think Dave Filoni has
Some
a personal affection for Embo, so
Mm.
he let him survive.
That's great. That's great. How about
I've,
some
I've
of
seen I've seen people comment online that they really hope Ahsoka gets back from the other galaxies so she can see the kind of hut that Rhoda's turned out to be.
Yeah.
She'd be very
Yeah,
fun.
that'd be a great scene.
That would be really cool.
Yes.
Maybe that'll be part of the amalgamation movie or whatever.
Yeah. What do you think of some of the actors who played some of these characters? Like, I'm thinking of like Jeremy Allen White, who voiced Brother the Hutt, because he's great. You know.
He's great. I could not recognize his voice at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
So whatever they ran his voice through was fun, was good.
Mm,
Um, I love Sigourney Weaver as like as the Colonel. That was great.
mm. Yeah, I just I didn't have my bingo card that Martin Scorsese. God, yes, you're right. My
Scorsese.
brain
Scorsese.
is getting so much worse. I don't know why. I had lots of sleep last night.
It's
Okay,
stress.
okay,
It's stress, Joel.
yeah,
You're stressed and
yeah.
and it makes your speech impediment worse.
Thanks.
Yeah, Scors I like that he was, just this, random uh
Mm.
street vendor guy. That was fun.
Yeah,
I
I
was very
had.
surprised that he agreed to do that because like he like shit all over the Marvel movies as being CGI
Yeah,
garbage, but
yeah.
he's perfectly happy playing a CGI alien in Star Wars. Like that doesn't make sense to me.
Well, he and Lucas and Spielberg and Coppola, they all, grew up together
Yeah.
in
Well,
in
I
the
know that
industry.
Lucas
So,
and Spielberg and Coppola were together. I never heard of Scorsese being part of that social circle.
Yeah, but he was well known. Like he's one of the best directors of the 20th century, right? You know, you can't
Yeah.
really like he did. Of course, the Godfather trilogy. He did the Last Waltz by the band, the music documentary. Yeah, I can go on, right? Okay, and like the heyday of Scorsese was amazing. But and I think it follows too in terms of this tradition they've started, where they bring in some high-end film director that's iconic and put and let them play a part. You see that with Herzog, Werner Herzog, in the first
Hmm.
season of The Mandalorian. Yeah, good
mm.
stuff. What else can I say? How is all the aliens and monsters? Because I like seeing all the aliens and monsters. If I was 10 years old again, I would have loved this movie. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I really like
uh,
the water dragon thing in the
yeah.
pit. That was a really cool, creepy creature. Oh, I
Yeah.
also love the fact that the Hutts had like battle droids from the
Mm,
Clone Wars
mm,
working for them, but they have like little capes. And I also really appreciated the fact that Mando would easily gun down the B-1 battle droids, but whenever he got to a super battle droid, it was
yeah.
shrugging off his shots and he had to like get it at a weak spot in the guts in order to hurt it. I like them like sticking with the fact like yes these are actually tougher droids,
Mm,
and then those two really big hulking monsters in the entranceway, those were really cool too.
right.
Two big droids looked kind of like the they're not
Rock'em
I don't think
Sock'em
they're
robots.
no bit rock okay yes bit rock'em sock'em robot bit crossed with the robot ish aliens from the Fifth Element.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
I was like, oh, this is cool.
yeah. It meant like I like the fact that they always draw upon, or at least being inspired by ancient myths, real ancient myths. In this case, Greek mythology. Forgive me, Ron. I'm just riffing off the top of my head, but it's the three-headed wolf dog Cerberus that guards the gate of Hades.
Cerebus, yeah.
Yeah,
Service.
yeah. The stuff like that's going on there, right? In terms of the film imagery. So I quite enjoy that. Just, I've read a lot of classics in my day. Okay. How about this deck of cards? The New Republic's deck of cards in terms of who's on their
Oh
hit
yeah.
list. I thought it was really good because it's an Easter egg because that happened in real life during the Gulf War. I remember that. I actually had a pack of these cards from the Gulf War for years and years and years, and yeah, and it became like a trendy for anyone in the military or police force to actually use that to play poker, even if weren't even in the Middle East. Just it was a military trendy thing, and I thought that was a good throwback.
Did they do that in
I've
World War II with the Nazis, or did that start with the Gulf War?
I think it's the second invasion of Iraq, 2003, but I could be wrong.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
don't recall
I
any evidence in previous conflicts, but yeah.
I appreciated that they were shaped like sabak cards.
Mm,
So
Yeah.
yeah.
so you could so like maybe they're not keeping them in like a database somewhere that the Imperial Remnant or anyone else can hack.
Mm,
They're like just this deck of cards that they're making copies of, and you can pass them off as a sabak
mm.
deck rather than there's like part sabak deck, part like Pokemon cards, and like you've got to catch them all.
Yeah, I'm sure they're
Technically,
selling it online somewhere right now. I mean,
I'm sure they are.
Disney's not a thing right now, but it's something like that. Okay. Oh, the music. I thought the music was amazing as always. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Uh, uh,
It was very different for a Star Wars movie. Like, not only
yeah.
do you have the Mandalorian type kind of westerny stuff, but they also went very 80s electronic retro when they
Oh
were on
yeah,
the
yeah.
Blade Runner planet.
Yeah,
So
I
that
that was
was a very
great.
interesting, different thing.
definitely like it. It's by the Swedish guy, right? What's his name? Ludwig.
Ludwig
Ludwig
Göransson.
Göransson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, and costumes, CGI. I thought all that stuff worked well. Uh,
Yeah.
I again, I think it's just me. Right now, I've been on a kick of like science fiction from the 60s and 70s. I like the low tech stuff now. And so when I see something as slick as this movie, it's like, oh, it's a different place. And I'm not mentally prepared for it to enjoy it, right? So it's just like, okay. But if you're a teenager, this is what, this is your life, or this, if you're a child. Yeah, and I think that's amazing. So I'm not poo-pooing at it at all. It's just that, yeah. Just
Uh, See if I
yeah.
see if I allow myself to think too hard about it, like I start wondering, like,
Yeah.
okay, did the dragon snake survive the bombing of the Hutt's palace?
Mm,
And if so, what kind of like ecological disaster would it escaping into
yeah.
like the environs of Hutta uh would that create
Yeah. Yeah.
and stuff like that?
That reminds me, we also got some sweet X-Wing action. Every time I hear
Yes.
the classic sounds of like the X-Wing scream or the shooting of
Mm,
the lasers, that always just brings me back to my childhood
yeah.
with the New Hope.
Yeah. I love the
I
hangar. Oh, go ahead.
I loved like the Top Gun-esque shot of them all like in coming behind the sunrise or sunset. That was just
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh, that reminds me of a substantial complaint I do have. We had an opening credit sequence where we're just seeing names across the front of the
Mm,
screen. I did not like that. That
mm,
felt not Star Wars to me. I did not
It
enjoy that.
felt eight, but it felt very 80s movie. So
yeah.
Yeah, but
I
I don't
allowed
know, it
it.
just made me think like TV show and not cinematic
Mm,
grandeur.
nah,
Mm,
nah. Because I got what they were trying to go for. I was like, I'll allow it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It also allowed them to give top billing to the other two guys in the Mando suit,
Yeah.
which
Um,
I really appreciated.
Yeah, before I ask you about, was it a good thing to have a standalone movie versus having a season four of the series? I just want to say the hangar with the X-Wings, the pilot's bar, I still love that place. And it's just
That
right
place
out
was
of,
awesome.
the Royal Air Force out of the Battle of Britain, and it works still, right? Okay, I love that. But yeah, let's go to the question. Like, do you think it was a good idea to make this as a theatrical release versus having season four of The Mandalorian?
We can't have both.
Yeah, maybe we can. I'm not in charge
We
of
can't have both.
Lucasfilm.
I mean,
Okay.
I mean, at the risk of sounding greedy, I'm like,
Yeah.
you could do some more standalone movies where he's going off and taking care of warlords that are not Thrawn.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
and then you can do Mando season four, maybe. Uh, oh, that was the other thing. I was hoping for an appearance by Bo-Katan. I
Mm.
realize that she's not improv has nothing to do with
Yeah.
him going off and hunting down warlords, but it could have been nice. I
Yeah.
also I also wish they had some mention of Grief Karga as just like a tribute to
Mm.
Carl Weathers or something, but you know whatever.
Yep.
Well,
Sure.
I would say that there's a lot of negative articles about the box office performance. It only had an 81 million opening weekend, which was, I think, less than what Solo did. And then in the second weekend, it went down to third place. And the micro budget horror movie Backrooms debuted this weekend with 81 million, just like Mando did, and they only had a 10 million budget. So that's crazy to me. I can't believe that. It's done 246 global over 2 weekends now. So, it'll make some money, but it's clearly not going to be a $1 billion hit.
Mm.
But I don't think it needs to be. I think this was just kind of getting their foot in the water. It was a promotional piece, just keeping Star Wars alive in the minds of the public in order to sell more Baby Yoda toys, in order to promote Disney Plus. So I don't think it was ever expected to be, a huge financial hit. They just had to get something out there because it was getting embarrassing. It's been almost 7 years now since they've had a movie, and there's just been one aborted attempt after another. They keep announcing things and then canceling them. It just looks bad. So it's good that they were just able to get something out the door and show that yes, we can actually still make movies. And we'll see how that Starfighter movie is next year. I hope that's great.
Yeah.
It sounds like it might be another kind of somewhat small scale movie.
Mm.
So I'm certainly anxious for the next, Fate of the Galaxy at Stake type episode Star Wars movie. But I think this was an important step just to show that, yes, we're still capable of producing a movie and putting it out in theaters. And it only had a budget of like 125 million, which is like half of what they normally spend on these things. So it'll certainly be profitable. And the most important thing of all is that it will, like I said, keep selling Baby Yoda toys and get people wanting to go to Disney World and subscribe to Disney Plus. So I think ultimately it kind of exists as a big commercial for the brand, for corporate synergy. So even if it didn't do a lot of money, it's still a success. It would have been nice if it made more because now we get all these, shitty articles about like, oh, Star Wars has failed again.
Yeah.
But I
Mm.
think it did what it
Uh,
was supposed to do.
I agree with you. First thing, I think, well, toxicity among the fandom is another story, which has gone so much
Yeah.
worse over the last decade. But
Hmm.
the other thing is that it's really hard to make a blockbuster movie nowadays in theatrical release
Yeah.
because very few people are now going to the cinema because why wait? Just, stream it afterwards after a couple of months. It's probably a
Yep.
better
Plus, it's
experience. Yeah.
so plus it's so bloody expensive, and
Yeah.
uh, you know, inflate. There's this whole inflation thing down here that
Mm,
you got to experience some of
mm,
when
yeah.
while you were living in Florida.
Yes, yes. It's so people don't have, $20 to spend going to the cinema, right? Unless they
Yeah,
really want
Yeah.
to. So, just it's economics of scale. No matter if you like,
yeah.
what's the last blockbuster movie? I don't know, the Barbie movie from 2 years ago. I don't, I'm
Superman.
trying. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it did well, but not. It's not like,
Well, Super Mario
yeah,
Galaxy is about to hit $1 billion, but
yeah.
obviously that's a huge kids
Yeah.
phenomenon.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Hmm.
We've talked about what,
And oddly, the Michael Jackson biopic has made like 800 million worldwide, which absolutely blows my mind that that many people are going to see that.
Yeah, it's hard to beat it. Beat it. Yes, Joe's back. Yes, hey.
Joel is definitely
Okay.
back.
Okay. All right. Well, any last thoughts before we wrap up the show?
Cute movie, go see it.
Yeah,
Spend some money on
Yeah.
it.
sure.
Keep
Yeah.
Yeah.
keep struggling Disney Corporation alive.
Yeah, yes. Yes, I own Disney stocks as part of my
Me too.
retirement.
So
Yes.
we,
Yeah.
we want it
Yeah.
to do good.
Absolutely. Full disclosure. No, okay.
Yeah.
Carrie?
I might. I have no idea. It's a fun movie. I
Uh,
wish I could afford to go see it again in the theater,
I,
but
I,
I have neither the time nor the money to do so.
I,
Um, so yeah, I'll probably, pick up the DVD when it comes out
mm,
if they have a physical media release, because apparently people are doing away with physical media, which sucks.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a rant for a different day.
Hmm. Fair enough. Oh, my last little thought, and it's
Hmm.
not about this movie, it's about the Sci-Fi Pubcast. I mentioned at the top of the
Oh,
show, I've been hanging out at this a tiny little Irish bar in London, Ontario called the Off License. And so they have an old-fashioned pay telephone at the bar. And it's because it's a new bar, it's only been open since December. People are slowly sticking stickers on the payphone. I can report to you guys that there's a sticker of the Sci-Fi Pubcast logo on that phone. Yes, we have a science fiction
excellent.
presence in Irish bar.
In a local bar in
Yeah,
Canada. Okay.
yeah. Well,
Cool.
but
Cool.
there's more because I've been doing that for years. But at least it's the one that people ask me about.
Okay, did you put any in any bars you went to in Florida?
Not this trip, but
Oh,
on previous
okay.
trips, I think so.
Okay.
Vegas, California, Hawaii.
Okay.
I know there was one in Turks and Caicos. Yeah, so yeah. You listen, this show has been around for a long time, okay?
Yes, this is true. Yes.
I was actually thinking about that. So I know that we all met oh no, wait, no, Carrie wasn't there.
Yeah,
But Joel, you and I met at the Star Wars convention in 2017, and that's coming up on 10 years now. So does that
yeah.
mean we've been doing this for 10 years?
It's almost 10 years. I think we're like the 9 year mark.
Wow,
I
Yeah.
have to go
that's
back.
crazy.
Yeah,
Jeez.
so because we were inspired by the Run Chatter Network and was it the Force Cast, the old school Force Cast and all that. I think that's how we
Yeah.
connected originally,
Yeah.
and it just came from there. Yeah,
Wow.
it's funny because I've seen you, Derek, at New York Comic Con several years ago. I've seen Carrie more because we kind of run each other in celebration and Star Trek world stuff. But have you guys ever met in real life?
No.
No, yeah, you've always been in
No.
in
Yeah.
California.
That's just that's it's weirdly awesome, but it's like what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh man. All right, let's wrap this up. It's closing time. Remember, we're on YouTube nowadays. Subscribe today. I have to say that apparently. You can contact the pub owner, me, at joelwelch123@gmail.com, as we love hearing from our customers. That's right, I killed the official email address because I'm trying to save money. All right, social media. Yes, Carrie, where can people find you on social media? Because it's still a thing up there.
If any social medias I'm on, you can find me at Carrie Blackfire 42. That's KERI Blackfire 42. Or you can listen to my other podcasts, which are Cape Chronicles and Enter the Dojo over on the Random Chatter Network.
Excellent. And Derek, social media, where are you located?
Pretty much just on Blue Sky now, Derek J. Beebe.
Mhm.
You can see my website, derekbeebe.com. All of my books are for sale on Amazon. So if you type in Derek Beebe, they'll come right up. All the books are only 99 cents as ebooks,
Mhm.
including all three of the new Terminus books now. So
Mhm.
you can get everything for 99 cents each.
Nice, nicely done.
Nice.
I'm on social media. I hate to say it. I'm on X, I'm on Blue Sky, and I'm on Instagram. That's about it for the most part. I've dialed things down recently because I'm in deep freeze because of my dissertation that I'm certainly not working on right now. And yes. And I've been more of a consumer of news and information because then, trying to be a content creator because I think that's a losing fight. This is why I subscribe to things like the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal and try to go directly to more, I don't know, at least newsrooms with reporters. Okay, let's just say that. Okay. But that's about me. Thank you for showing up to the pub today, and we'll do this soon again because now I'm in a house where there's Wi-Fi. Yes.
Yay.
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 It's closing time. Take care. Please make it home safe, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Music provided courtesy of Logan Rathbone. Podcast logo by Jea Rhee. Copyrighted Joe Welch. Listen responsibly, and we can't wait for your next visit to our fine establishment. Cheers.